Hello and welcome back to the channel, and we are starting turn 3 here in our Pataliputra scenario. And we're going to change things up a little. Just going to go through some before and after shots here and talk through some highlights of the remaining turns in this game. And going back to the lowest initiative leader, that's going to be that tribal chief there on the Morian left. And just like we talked about in turn 1, we kind of kept these tribal units back and had them wait for an opportunity. And here it is. We can see that closest chariot there, close to breaking, and some opportunity for some flank attacks there. And this is how it ends up. So pretty successful attack by the tribal units here. They were able to rout all 3 of those Nanda units, of course, eliminating the 2 chariots. And we'll move on to level 3 initiative leaders. So level 3 initiative leaders on both sides. Morians won the die roll. They're going to start with their guild chief on the right flank there. And we'll try to get the 1 unit rallied and try to engage with the Nanda cav and chariots and hopefully push them off and get our javelin unit there freed up to do some shot combat. So pretty good activation there by the guild chief. They did fail the rally on their own unit, but they were able to rout the enemy chariot and cav. So now we'll be moving on to Chandragupta. Okay, now over to the Nanda side for level 3 initiative leader. They are going to pick Chandragupta, and we're going to have him issue a line command to get those elephants moving forward. And this is the result of Chandragupta's move forward here. Didn't lose any of his elephants. A few of them are pretty close there, and you can see there on the left, a few of them have done that elephant pass through. Was able to rout a few of those Morian units as well. And Chandragupta attempted momentum, but failed the roll. So we will move back to the Morian side. So the Morians will activate their elephant Nayaka leader on the right. And this is the result of 2 activations by this Nayaka leader. They were able to get momentum and pretty big attack here. They were able to rout 2 chariot units and the Nayaka cav there at the bottom left. And now we'll swing back over to the Nanda side, and they're going to activate the subordinate commander, Dana, over there on the right. And this is how things ended up with Dana. So he just moved over to the center and issued orders to 2 of the elephant units that already moved to move up and eliminate those routed Morian units. And that worked out well. He attempted a momentum roll, but failed that. So back to the Morian side. They are going to activate this Nayaka elephant leader on their left. So this is how it turned out for the Nayaka elephant leader on the Morian left. They actually made the decision to move back toward the center with Dana being so far away from those Nandan cav. And they got a momentum roll. So they were able to eliminate a routed light infantry unit. And so that was the end of their activation. And then I actually just went ahead and activated the left wing Nayaka cav commander of the Nanda. And they just had one option there, which was to rally the unit they were stacked with. So they did that. And now we will move on to the final level 3 initiative leaders. And we'll start with the right wing chariot Nayaka. Okay, and this is how the right wing Nayaka's activation went. They attempted a momentum roll, but failed. But they got a couple units routed there, attempted to roll momentum, but failed. So we'll move over to the left wing Nayaka now. So the left wing Nayaka just swung over there to the right and pushed those 2 chariot units forward to eliminate those 2 routed units, who would have been pretty easy rallies, I feel like, for Chanakya. And so maybe a little more thematic to have had that left wing Nayaka stay with his left side, but that in the heat of battle, things are moving fast. We will be moving on to the level 5 initiative leader now, and that is, of course, Chandragupta. Okay, so Chandra, of course, trying to get that cav around the edge, but failed the momentum roll again. So not very effective this scenario, but we'll be moving on to level 6 initiative leader, Chanakya. Okay, so huge turn here by Chanakya. Ended up getting 2 momentums, so 3 activations in total. Was able to rout all of those cataphracted elephants, all of them rampaging and even costing Chanakya a couple of his own units. Beyond that, just some exchange of missile fire, and also he was able to get a couple of Chandra's cav moved up to eliminate 2 more Nanda units. So that's going to end the turn. I'll go through those end of turn steps offline and then come back. Okay, so here's how we're looking at the end of turn 3. We've done the rout and recovery phase. And so we'll move into the withdrawal phase and tally up these rout points. And here we can see the Nandas well in excess of their withdrawal level. So they are going to be withdrawing and losing this scenario. And probably half or so of those rout points being courtesy of Chanakya's last turn, where he got those 3 activations, got all of those elephants eliminated, and maybe a few additional units as well. But the Morians are going to walk away the winners of this one, which is actually pretty unexpected here. The Nandas were heavily favored. One of the keys there, of course, being superior leadership on the Morian side. Chanakya getting a couple turns with multiple momentum rolls. Also, probably wasn't a good idea to push those elephants up in the center. They ended up pretty congested, and with the rampaging, they had a pretty big effect on each other. So I probably should have held back there and waited for some better matchups. But that's how this one's going to end. I've actually played this scenario a handful of times here, just preparing for this video, and this is the first win for the Morians. Anyway, that's going to do it for this scenario. Thanks for hanging out with me. The Morians take the victory in turn 3.